Hi guys, welcome back to my XVS guide. Now I'm gonna review Aerith Final Fantasy VII Remake version. So let's begin from her stats. Like you can see that her standard form is more focused on healing because like you can see that she has 200% spirit boost and very high base spirit stats, 314. But her Bravery form, her spirit is still decent, but the boost is better for magic stats, 200% on magic and 150% through double hand, which make her easily increase her magic stats. Too bad it is through double hand, okay? And on Neo Vision, through double hand mage is still not bad but quite annoying because magic doesn't take benefit from two-handed weapon and there are no two-handed road, right? So yes, that's for the stats. And for Bravery form, she has 150% demon magic killer. Okay, so this is nice because her normal form only get 75%, but other passive are about the same. Okay, fatal damage protection and regen, they are about the same and not that significant. So enough about her stats. Now let's take a look on her normal abilities. So like I have said on the beginning, her normal form is meant to be a healer because like you can see that on normal form she only learned non-elemental Chaos Wave Awaken. Okay, Chaos Wave Awaken is really good for magic chain, but because it is non-elemental then it is a problem. Okay, but the good thing about her Chaos Wave Awaken is it also heal you, so she can deal damage and heal at the same time. But again, the bad news is on her normal form, she only able to do dual cast, okay? And that's kinda bad because that means the chaining gonna be broken because most mage are triple or quad caster. So I must say on her normal form, it is not that good. And she can cure break and ailments, including stop and charm, but yeah, she doesn't have resist buff, which is quite annoying because I prefer to give my party resist buff instead of recovering them from one. Okay, so I must say it is one thing that I don't like her as a healer because if you remember, all past 7 stars healers have this kind of stats break and ailments resist buff. Okay, so what's wrong with this? But do not worry because she also has some amazing support abilities like 45% magic mitigation and physical mitigation. That's high, okay? So that will be useful on certain situation. She also able to give your ally 5,000 health barrier, which is a lot, or 4,000 for all characters. So yes, I must say it is definitely nice. And she also able to fill all characters limit burst 10 LB crystals every turn, so you get 30 LB crystals in total after 3 turns. Okay, but I must say it is not that amazing. Okay, I prefer faster ABV rate compared to this filling abilities like. Okay, so that's all. And for grandest ability, I must say it's good. Okay, it's AoE raise and perfect healing. I can say that it is about the same like her normal, not normal, okay, her previous version, the normal Aerith, not Final Fantasy VII Remake, okay. But the bad news is it only limited to 2 uses. But for her old form, wow, you can use that as many times as you want as you have limit burst gauge. So I must say this is quite annoying because she doesn't have AoE raise other than this grandest ability. So maybe this is not that a big problem too because at this time battle, if trials battle usually only lasts for short time. Okay, so I think this enough. Okay, only two uses of this grandest ability, but if you need more then you need to search it from another character. Okay, and for her limit burst, I must say it's also kind of bad. Okay, especially compared to her demake version, because her demake version limit burst is simply awesome. Okay, but this one only cure and cure again on the next turn and MP recovery. What I must say, it is pretty mediocre LP. Okay, so that's for her normal form, but the good thing about her is her Brave She form. So let's take a look on it. On Brave She form, she is really good mage. Probably the best mage at this point of the game. First, she has triple cast like your other mages, and if you need it, she can also unlock quad cast using cooldown ability. And for Chaos Wave Awaken, she only has light element, but this is really nice because it also imperil enemy light resist by 120%, so you don't need to use other ability to imperil the light resist. Very nice, right? And for the damage modifier, it deals 75 times damage, and you also can get 10 times additional damage modifier, and that means 85 times damage per cast. And based from what I see on the future, okay, taking a look, Sol, Neo Vision Terra, the damage modifier are about the same, okay, per cast. They deal damage about 80 times damage per cast, so I can say that Aerith is still useful on the future. So it is not like she is the first real mage on the Neo Vision and she will be power creep. No, not like that. Very nice. And yes, she only able to chain with light element, but she can become finisher for other elements, for ice, lightning, and fire. It is 2-hit attack, so like I said, finisher, but it deals nice damage. Like you can see on the table here, you can deal 80 times damage per cast. Quite nice, right? If you use quad cast, that means 320 times without imperil. That Cetra plus magic also imperil that elemental resist by 120%. So you will deal tons of damage even as a finisher. For Tempest, it also heal your allies, but yes, like you can see, the damage modifier is quite high. You can deal 100 times damage per cast, but since it is non-elemental attack, you won't get benefit from imperil. So in the end, it will deal less damage, but again, what you want to get from using this Tempest is for healing. And imagine if you bring 2 Aerith, I can say that maybe only use 1 Tempest and 3 Ray of Judgment. In that case, you will heal your party. I believe it will be enough to fully recover your entire party's health, even for tank, and then also deal nice damage at the same time. So it's like Ace on 4-star form. Okay, back then, if you are veteran players, you really know how good as back then, healing and dealing damage at the same time. This is same for Aerith. Very nice, very versatile. And for Grandest ability, she also able to increase her light damage even further. That means will also make her more powerful as like Chaos Wave Awaken Chainer. And like you can see that the rotation is pretty simple. Arcane Ward is basically to unlock your quad cast and unlock Cetra plus magic. And then Fleeting Familiar to increase your light damage and other ability damage modifier, and Planet's Protection. Basically you don't need this, but this is useful for other characters. And starting on the second turn, you can start quad casting your spell to enemy. Okay, really nice, really easy. And I think once you go into Brave She form, you never want to go back into her normal form, because on this department, on this form, she can also heal your party. So yeah, basically the reason for you to back into your normal form is for giving your party AoE re-raise. But if you don't need that, I don't think there's a good reason to go back to your normal form, because I think she is a mage, not a healer. Okay, and like you can see, her limit burst I must say, I'm not impressed. It deals 4 elemental damage, so unless you have imperil those 4 elements, the damage won't be that great. And yes, 100 times the magic damage. Yes, she has 50% LB damage. That means 150 times damage modifier from this limit burst, but still, it is really inferior compared to her quad cast Ray of Judgment or Cetra plus magic. So again, you don't want to use this limit burst. And that's all for her Brave Shift form. Now let's talk about equipment. So for equipment on standard form, basically she is more focused into healer, but I don't think you want to keep her into normal form, okay? Because really guys, I must say her healing capabilities are bad compared to 7-star healers. What makes her really good is her flexibility to be able to heal and deal damage at the same time. And that only happened on her Brave Shift form. So on standard form, simply gear her to be able to survive. You may want to, let's say, increase her spirit to increase her survivability, but on her Brave Shift form, treat her as a mage. Build her magic stat through double hand magic, and after that, increase the spirit if you still have more abilities slot. Okay, because remember that the healing come from Tempest will heal. Healing from Tempest depends on your spirit stats. So enough about equipment, let's talk about partner. So, her best partner is again Aerith. Because, yeah, from what I remember, from what I know, in the future, there are no light Chaos Wave Awakened Chainer. So, Soul, New Vision Soul, is Ice and Dark element. For Neo Vision Terra, she is again Ice, Thunder, and Fire. So you cannot find another like Chaos Wave Awaken, okay, from what I know based on Japan's schedule. But this doesn't mean you cannot pair them together. You can, but just remember that won't be elemental chain, okay? And because, yes, I can say that using Aerith as a healer to heal your health is enough. But as a complete healer, she is not enough. You need like stats break resist, ailment resist. That way you need to have someone like Sylvie who able to do that. Sylvie, yes, I know she is great. I'm still using her, but again, her healing may be not enough on some situation. Okay, so that time Aerith can come help party. But again, I believe if you use 2 Aerith, I believe your healing is enough. And for party sample, you can see it here. Okay, you can bring 1 finisher if you can get 2 Aerith, let's say 1 Aerith from your friend, because basically you don't need to get any healer after you have her. Really nice. Okay, so enough about equipment. Now let's talk about abilities priority. So I think the most important ability is Tempest, because yes, it is available on both forms, and it also your healing and offensive move at the same time. Yes, I know it is not elemental chain, but simply insert this ability in one of your quad casts. Okay, so let's say you put this on the first action. That means it will increase the chain hit count to make your Ray of Judgment more powerful. And for Ray of Judgment, it is the second most important ability because it is her, I can say, most powerful chaining tool, because it can deal elemental chain. You simply need to search for another quadcaster for like Chaos Wave Awaken. I cannot remember anyone, okay, because Ace is, yes, he able to chain with Chaos Wave Awaken. He able to use Light Element if you equip Light Elemental weapon. But the main problem is Ace is triple caster, not quest caster. So the chain will be break on the middle of the process. So I don't like that. Okay. And the third ability, of course, Lustrous Shield. Yes, of course she only has 3 abilities, so of course this is the last. It is not bad, it is nice. Okay, 45% magic mitigation, one of the highest spammable ability for magic mitigation on this game. So yes, I can say that all of her abilities are important. So awaken all these 3. Okay, so enough about abilities priority. Now let's talk about finally my conclusion for Aerith. So instead of saying her as a first Neo Vision healer, I more agree to say her as the first Neo Vision mage. Because like you can see, in my opinion, okay, not like you can see, her healing capabilities are underwhelmed. But her offensive, in other words, it's good. Because it can also heal your party. That's how I look Aerith. Like Ashe on the past. You won't say that Ashe is a healer, right? She is Heaven's Fury, Heaven's Wrath user with nice healing capabilities. Same for Aerith. And Aerith also remind me to Ellie from Xenogears. Because back then Ellie only able to chain with one element, wind, but she also has another element which also act as a finisher. That's also same for Aerith, because remember, sure, Aerith only has one element, Chaos Wave Awakened, but she has another 3 elements which are finisher move, and they are powerful. They are not bad. So I must say quite nice, and I must say she is still perfectly usable in the future because of this 4 elemental access. You can, let's say pair her with Neo Vision Terra or Soul to act as a magic finisher. And yes, for the Transmaster and STMR, they are also quite nice, but they are not the thing I really want to get right now. They are nice to have, but you don't need to chase them. Okay? So that's all for Aerith. Not a bad character, really interesting, and I think one of the character that really utilize Neo Vision function, okay, by switching, because the roles are exactly kind of different. For the past, basically what we get on Neo Vision are about the same. Simply like, Breath Shift is for LB damage, and physical is for more like chaining damage or whatever. So I must say, that's kinda gimmicky, but for this, I can say this is valid Neo Vision feature. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Brave X Fuse God. Bye bye guys.